Never stop saving and learning and growing until you become financially independent.
Hey there! It's hard to find good help for many people today. With so much information, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and that you don't have any way to sift through the noise. Luckily, motivational speakers can help. Subscribe to us for endless motivation.
Many years ago, a man named Klassen wrote a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. This book became a worldwide bestseller, sold millions and millions of copies in every language, and it has one basic principle in the book, which is not very large, which says, pay yourself first. Resolve today that you are going to save and invest at least 10% of your income throughout your working life. Take 10% of your income off the top of your paycheck each time you receive one, pay yourself first, and put it into a special account for financial accumulation. The fact is that if you save just $100 per month throughout your working lifetime, and you invest that money in an average mutual fund that grows at 8 to 10% per annum, you will be worth more than $1 million by the time you retire. My good friend David Bach wrote a book which said that if you simply spend one latte less, $5 a day, and he called it the latte factor, and save that money, $25 a week, you'll save $100 a month and you'll become financially independent. He's been on half the television shows in America explaining that by saving a few dollars each day and saving it, you can achieve all your financial goals. What this means is that anyone, even a person earning minimum wage, if he or she starts early enough and saves long enough, can become a millionaire over the course of his or her working lifetime, and that includes you. Developing the lifelong habit of saving and investing your money is not easy. It requires tremendous determination and willpower. You have to set it down as a goal, you have to write it out, you have to make a plan, you have to work on it all the time. But once this practice locks in and becomes automatic, your financial success is virtually guaranteed. The key for you is to practice frugality, frugality, frugality in all things. Be very careful with every penny, especially at the beginning of your working life. Question every expenditure. Delay or defer important buying decisions for at least a week, if not a month. The longer you put off making a buying decision, the better your decision will be and the better price you will get at that time. A major reason that people retire poor is because of impulsive buying. They see something they like and they buy it with very little thought. They become victims of what is called Parkinson's Law, which says that expenses rise to meet income. This means that no matter how much you earn, you tend to spend that much and a little bit more besides. As a result, you never get ahead and you never get out of debt. Your job is to break Parkinson's Law. You don't have to be a victim of Parkinson's Law, but if you cannot save 10% of your income, start today by saving 1% of your income in a special savings and investment account. Put it away at the beginning of each month, even before you begin paying down your debts. Learn to live on the other 99% of your income. As you become comfortable living on 99%, raise your savings goal to 2% and live on 98%, then 3% and 4% and so on. Wow! Within 1 year, you'll be saving 10% and maybe even 15 or 20% of your income and living comfortably off the balance. At the same time, your savings and investment account will start to grow. You'll become more careful about your expenditures, and in a miraculous way, your debts will begin to be paid off one after the other. Within a year of starting saving 1% a month, your entire financial life will be under your control, and you will be on your way to becoming a self-made millionaire. Now, this process has worked for everyone, including tens of millions of people who read and applied the idea from Klassen's Richest Man in Babylon. Try it for yourself. Open a special account for financial accumulation today. Make a deposit in the account, even $5 or $10, no matter how small. This starts to set up a force field of energy that will attract more money. Then look for every opportunity to add to this account. Begin to study money so that you understand how to make it grow. Read books and magazines by experts on the subject of money. Never stop saving and learning and growing until you become financially independent. One of the most important habits is that of character and honesty, is always tell the truth no matter what the price. And the final characteristic, the final habit, is that of self-discipline. And I have written and spoken upon this for years and years and years, but self-discipline seems to be the foundation habit that makes everything else possible. And the best definition of self-discipline is that self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. You see, anybody can do it if they feel like it. It's when you don't feel like it and you do it anyway that you eventually develop the self-discipline that makes everything else possible. Thank you for watching. What is the one habit that you should start to develop right now that will help you more than any other habit to achieve your most important goals? Here's some ideas on how to structure your day for maximum productivity, performance, and output. Benny from Facebook recently asked me, how do you structure your day? So here's some tips to help you structure your day to be more productive and successful. Number one, every minute spent in planning saves 10 minutes in execution or getting the job done. So the most important thing you can do is plan your day, preferably the night before. Sit down with a piece of paper and write down everything that you have to do the coming day. It should be the last thing you do at the end of the day. Now, if for any reason you don't do this, then the first thing you do in the morning, before you check your email, your phone calls, newspapers, first thing you do in the morning is make a list of everything that you have to do that day. Once you have a list, you have a track to run on. Writing down a list clarifies your thinking. Writing down a list forces you to think at a higher level. If you start working from a list, you increase your productivity and output by 25% the first day. All successful people work from lists, and all successful people, with regard to their projects, work from checklists. A checklist is a list of everything organized in sequence, and you go down the checklist. Now, the second way that you can organize your day is to set priorities on your list before you begin. Don't just rush into it. Look over the list and apply the 80-20 rule. If you have 10 items to do on your list, 2 will be more valuable than the other 8 put together. Sometimes it's the 90-10 rule. If you have 10 items on your list, 1 will be more important than all the others put together. Go down your list and ask yourself this question. If I could only do one thing on this list before I was called out of town for a month, what one task would I want to be sure to complete? Now, in my life, I'm called out of town for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes a month, all the time. Last fall, I was out of town and traveling in 15 countries over 36 days. So I have to look at my work list before I go, and I have to get my most important tasks done. So once you identify this task, this leads to the next way to organize your day, is begin immediately on your most important task, and then stay with it until it's complete. All of success in life comes from project completion. It comes from taking jobs, and a project is called a multi-task job. It means there's several little jobs within the larger job. And what you do is you organize your projects by sequence, the checklist, and then you start on your most important project, and then you stay with that project until it's complete. This process is called single handling. It's the most powerful success strategy that you can use in managing your time. You can actually increase your productivity by 50% by simply starting and completing your most important task first thing every day. So if you can do those 3 things, start with a list, organize the list by priority, and then start on and complete your most important task, you can double and triple your productivity, sometimes almost overnight.